Meeting of the Iowa Board of Regents for October 8th, 2024 will come to order. I will begin by calling roll. Regent Dunkel.
Here.
Regent Barker. Regent Rouse.
Here.
Regent Lindemeyer.
Here.
Regent Kramer.
Here.
Regent Reiswick.
Here.
Regent Hensley.
Here.
Regent Bates is present. We have a quorum and the meeting can proceed.
Sherry, sorry, I'm here. I just couldn't find the unmute button.
Okay, thank you, David. Or Regent Barker, thank you. So before we start the board business, though, I want to take a moment to recognize Chris Hensley, the newest member of the board. She has a wealth of information and experience, and we look very forward to working with her. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you very much, Sherry.
I'd now like to recognize University of Iowa President Barbara Wilson, who will make remarks.
Thank you, President Bates, and good morning, everyone. It's great to see you and welcome, Regent Hensley. I look forward to getting to know you over the next couple of months and years. Thank you so much for this opportunity this morning. We really appreciate the special meeting. As you know, Iowa has one of the fastest growing cancer rates in the country. And our goal at the University of Iowa is to fight against cancer across the state, not just in Iowa City, but across the state. So we're really excited about this special opportunity that we're bringing forward to you. It's been a very big process of workload from our team. So several folks are on the call today. Big shout out to, of course, to Denise and Brad and Mark and Joe and many, many others who've been looking at this opportunity very closely, and we'd like to bring it to your attention today and hopefully get your approval. So I'm going to turn this over to our Vice President Jameson, Denise Jameson, who's going to give you more detail and then include her team as well. So thanks, Denise.
Thank you and good morning, and thank you for this opportunity to provide some background. So as President Wilson just said, cancer rates in Iowa are the second highest in the nation, and they're rising. And in the midst of this cancer crisis, access to cancer care across the state is insufficient to meet the needs of Iowans. And this is particularly true in rural Iowa. So by joining forces with Mission Cancer and Blood, we believe that we can bring the highest quality cancer care closer to home for all Iowans. Just some background, Mission Cancer and Blood is a thriving, financially sound medical group that provides access to cutting-edge cancer care. And they really excel at patient-centered care by building lifelong relationships with patients and providing personalized care. Mission Cancer and Blood provides comprehensive oncology and hematology patient services in central and western Iowa. So this includes chemotherapy and immunotherapy, genetic counseling, theranostics, outreach services, and on-site laboratory services. They also offer clinical research and educational opportunities. Mission Cancer and Blood is based in Des Moines with 5 clinics in the Des Moines metro area. They also have extensive rural outreach operations with 17 outreach clinics in central and western Iowa. So why this proposed plan to join forces? Well, the leaders of Mission Cancer and Blood recognize the benefits of a like-minded partner. And at University of Iowa Healthcare, we share their commitment to serve the cancer needs of Iowans now and for future generations. And so this proposal that we're talking about today provides a unique opportunity that's really aligned with our strategic plan in several ways. First, and most importantly, it improves access to clinical care for patients in Iowa. Second, it expands access to community-based clinical research trials. Third, it improves access to innovative clinical therapies such as theranostics and CAR T-cell therapy. Fourth, it expands training opportunities for health science students and trainees. And lastly, we believe that it will increase the likelihood that cancer physicians stay in Iowa to practice. So I'd now like to turn it over to Mr. Hawes for some additional details.
A few details. Thank you, Dr. Jameson. A few details on the actual transaction that we're proposing. This would be an asset purchase agreement with clinical operations that will become part of UI Healthcare. In addition to the asset purchases, we will assume the leases for the current Mission Clinic locations that they have. As part of this due diligence process, we have done significant financial, operational, and regulatory reviews. We engaged an independent appraiser to determine the fair market value of the transaction. We believe that all of these align, as Dr. Jameson said, and that the combined benefit of UI Healthcare and the Mission Group will provide great value to the citizens of Iowa. Both organizations are committed to providing world-class care in both rural and urban communities across Iowa, and we think the combined entity adds to the strength and make the combination better for the whole. Accordingly, we respectfully request your consideration of the assumption of leases associated with this asset purchase.
Are there any questions? I'm presuming this is the end of the presentation. I just wanted to make sure. Are there any questions from any of the regents? Regent Kramer?
So, and you give us a little more detail on the valuation. I'm guessing there's not a lot of assets there, but what you know what the value of the assets were, and I'm assuming most of the valuation was just based on the operation, the ability to make profit.
Yeah, Regent Kramer, you're correct. There are not a lot of tangible assets that come as part of the purchase. What we're essentially buying is the expertise and the ongoing success of a business operation. In pure accounting terminology, they would consider a lot of this goodwill. The valuation was conducted by an external firm called VMG, and they did the normal looks at the valuation, whether that's market multiples, whether that's discounted cash flow, quality of earnings reviews, those kinds of things. And we were very fortunate to have their help in determining what the appropriate purchase price would be.
And then how do we know? Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about UIHC's financials? You know, how does this fit into your the cash flow, and then your long-term assets and your long-term plans for the other buildings we need to build pretty soon?
Yeah, so this aligns very tightly with our strategic plans. It's a specialty and subspecialty that we are very focused on. It expands, as President Wilson and Dr. Jameson mentioned, our geographic reach, so it enables our ability to better serve rural Iowa. It does not preclude then the other strategic conversations that we've been having with this body regarding facilities upgrades and other strategic assets. It is a financially viable transaction that actually, after the appropriate run period, is accretive to our financial position. And so we feel very fortunate that this has been an opportunity available to us.
Okay.
Are there any other questions for the team?
No, but I just want to chime in here, and I want to say thank you to President Wilson and thank you to all of you at the UIHC. There's probably no one on this call closer to cancer than me, because it's in our house. I hope not anyway. We have it here. We go to the University of Iowa for help. Just this morning, I was probably on the phone for 2 hours with my sister, who was telling me that her son has, he's had cancer since January, pancreatic, and he's got hospice coming in today. So anything that we can do in Iowa, back to Dr. Jameson's, we're second in the nation. We're the only state where our cancer numbers are rising. We need to do everything we can. And I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for this journey, because that's what it is. So strongly support this.
Thank you, Nancy. Very well said. Are there any other questions?
Hey, Sherry, this is JC. I have
Yes,
just a
Regent
couple.
Weiswick. Mhm.
The first question, in the packet here, it indicates most of the contracts will be assumed other than third payer, GPO, and employment agreements. Is there any issues with any change of control or first right of refusal in any of those contracts as we've looked at them? That requires permission or a first look by somebody else? I assume we've been through that, but I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, with the exclusion, Regent Reiswick, with the exclusions that you mentioned, the others do not have those risks. The others are ones that we're working through currently.
Okay, thank you. And then does this have any impact at all, positive or negative, on partnerships that Mission has already with Unity Point or Iowa Clinic or any other regional provider?
I think it's unclear at this point. We believe that Unity Point and Mercy will view this as accretive and that an opportunity to partner with both us and Mission Blood. There were a series of calls yesterday made by the Mission team to those partners and to their referring physicians in the community. Our intent is to prove that we intend to be good partners. We would like to deliver more cancer care locally. It's not a play to have more and more patients come to us in Iowa City that could be served in their local communities or in Des Moines. We do believe that there are some that are leaving the state that we could keep here within our catchment area, but this is not a play to take patients from the current catchment areas within Iowa.
Okay, thank you. Those are the only two questions I have for now. And thank you for all the work that's gone into this. This is very in-depth and I appreciate it.
Are there any other questions? Before we take a vote, I'd also like to give you my thanks. It's been a lot of work and we certainly appreciate it. So a motion and a second are required to approve the following. A, subject to necessary regulatory approvals, approve the university's request to lease real estate property as outlined in the docket memo in connection with the purchase of business assets of Mission Cancer and Blood at the proposed price of $280 million. And B, delegate to the executive director of the Board of Regents the authority to execute the asset purchase agreement and all necessary documents related to the transaction, subject first to final review and approval by the board office. Is there a motion?
So
This
moved.
is, I second it.
Motion by Regent Lindemeyer and second by Regent Dunkel. Any discussion? We'll take a vote. Regent Barker,
Yes.
Regent Lindemeyer,
Yes.
Regent Kramer,
Yes.
Regent Hensley,
Yes.
Regent Reiswick.
Yes, apologize for the airport noise.
That's fine. Regent Dunkel,
Yes.
Regent Rouse,
Yes.
Regent Bates votes yes. The motion is approved. Is there any other business to come before the board? Very good. Hearing none, this meeting of the Iowa Board of Regents is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.